Every year, thousands of mods are released for Minecraft. Some become very famous and others are released and forgotten sometime later. That is why today we are going to go back in time and test a mod released every year from the year 2025 to the year Minecraft was released in 2011. And besides testing, I will rank all these mods in a tier list for us to determine which is the best and which is the worst year or mod. This is the third episode of the Geleia Lab series, which is released every Monday here on the channel. And the first mod is from the year 2025 called Curvy Pipes. This mod just adds item transport pipes to Minecraft, but they break the game's physics. Before 2025, you didn't usually see this kind of thing here in Minecraft. There are various sizes of pipes you can spread around your world, including this big one here, dude. Look at this gigantic thing. Let me equip him here in this tree. Hey bro, this might just look like something decorative that you can climb, but they do have a purpose. And their usefulness, as I already said, is to transport things. So, you can have a chest here on top of this tree, and another chest near the ocean, and instead of connecting several funnels, you can pull a pipe from under the chest, and they are kind of flexible like that, right? And call here on top of the trunk. Hey, then you can use them to transport items. Right now, it's not transporting because I have to activate the extraction mode, and now the items are leaving the chest and going directly to the other chest at the other end of the pipe. Then you ask me, but Geleia, why are there also red tubes and blue tubes? Because this mod can be used with other mods that add things like fluids and even energy. So the yellow tube transports items, the blue tube transfers fluids from one tank to another, and the red tube carries energy. And look at this, man, it ended up looking like some tires, right? Like those in children's playground. You could even use it as a fence, for example, to connect these trees here to make a small fence to prevent mobs from passing through. If I put a creeper in here and try to ask it to follow me, it can't get through. He's stuck there like it's a real fence, so you can do a lot of different things with this mod. I just found out that these pipes are indestructible, but I still need to show you the crafting of these pipes and why there are some gigantic pipes. Alright, let's do this. Let me break this pipe here, see? Wonderful. I broke the tiny pipe. I'll get my wood from here, and now I'm going to get the pipe size 4. I'm gonna make a call here until here in this trunk. Look how cool it turns out, and pay attention to what will happen when I put this pack of wood here in the middle. Nothing, because I forgot to activate something. Now it is working, and look what happens when I fill it with wood inside. When I release the button, you'll see how quickly the items will come out. Man, this is just insane. The wider the pipe, the higher the speed of transporting items or fluids in the case of these here, or energy in the case of this pipe here. And crafting them is very easy. You need to place a stone in the middle. To make the item pipe, you put gold nuggets around a stone, and you will have an item pipe. To make the fluid pipe, you need 4 lapis lazulis around a stone. And to make the energy pipe, you use redstone, right? If you connect 4 pipes, you get a slightly bigger pipe. If you connect them again, you get another slightly bigger pipe. If you connect them again, you get the biggest pipe of all. And if you connect them again, that's asking too much, right? Just out of curiosity, the smallest pipe carries 2 items per second. The little one carries 20 items per second. The medium, 200 items. The large, 2,000 items per second. And the giant, 20,000 items per second. In other words, you're never going to need a huge pipe like that, right? Before moving on to the next category, I want to ask you to comment on crazy things I can try to do in another video using these pipes here, because this series is not just for testing mods. Geleia Labs is actually a series where I want to conduct experiments, try all kinds of things, and one of them is these tubes here in some upcoming episode with your comments. And this first mod we just tested, in my opinion, dude, without seeing the others, I would say it's a trophy, but I'm really excited because it's very cool, so I'll leave it here in second place, and if no mod tops the trophy, I'll raise it later. Now let's go back a little and move to 2024 for the Cosmic Horizons mod. This mod adds space exploration, and to explore space, you need different machines. And these machines here in front of me, these are the rovers you can use to walk on the moon or other planets. Hang on, I'll show you now. This one is the nickel rover, this one is the titanium rover, and this one is the steel rover. The ships or rockets you can use to travel to space are made of the same materials. As I already mentioned, it allows you to fly to space, so let's get a spaceship here. And as soon as I get into the spaceship to fly to space, you can see that an overlay appears on the side. And this overlay basically means that I'm on the ground for now, and I need to keep going up, as I'm doing now. And then the little spaceship starts going up there on the side. Look, and you can already see the world from far away here, and we have to fly towards the sky. Look how beautiful the galaxy is, the sky here, and done, wonderful. I already arrived in the sky. Now my spaceship starts to move more sideways, right? Because the Earth is down there, so there is no longer up and down. And now I need to find the moon to fly to the moon. Hey folks, I'm arriving here on the moon, and then we just fly with our ship towards the moon, right? Alright, I'm down. Do you just descend when you arrive at the planet or moon with your spaceship? And here you can already notice that gravity is quite different, right? Just like on the moon, it is much slower. Here's the thing, I've already explored the moon. I want to go to another planet, so I'm going to leave the moon again, just fly up. You start to see the world like that, all different again. As soon as I hit the bar on the overlay, I can get out of the moon and fly back into space. And here inside the ship, I can, for example, choose any planet, solar system, alpha system, the B1400 something, Gaia BH01. Let's travel to the planet here. I don't know, Venus. Look, just click on travel, done, I'm on Venus. Then we just get off here on Venus. Soon it will switch to descent mode, right? Wonderful. Click on origin and you'll start descending to the planet. And wonderful. Be careful not to hit everything here too, right? Because nobody wants to break the spacecraft. And now we're on the planet Venus. So once you're on the planet, you can switch to survival mode and play normally. Just be careful, you know, not to burn to death. This liquid here, I don't know what it is. Let me see if I can get it with a bucket. It's possible to get, and it's a bucket of sulfuric acid. It does more damage than lava, so be careful when you go to Venus on your next adventure. The mod adds a multitude of space-related things that you can test by downloading it and searching for the name of the mod. Dude, I really like the mod. Here in the tier list, I think we can place it together with the Pipes mod. He just doesn't go up for the trophy because it hasn't been released yet for you to fly and go to space in survival mode. If not, he would already be here for sure. So for now, he stays here along with the mod of the Pipes. And now it's time for us to travel a little further back in the past, going to the year 2023 for the better Archaeology mod. This mod improves Minecraft Archaeology, which is those brush strokes you make on suspicious sand. Or even you clean up some suspicious gravel. This mod promises to improve that, and one of the first things it does is add a new iron brush, a diamond one, and a netherite one. They greatly improve the speed at which you dig here the gravels and sands. There are still all these items that I'm going to show you, but first I want to show the new structure. This mod adds various archaeological structures, and the first one I'm going to show is this one here, which are the catacombs. Look how amazing. You can come here to collect these new blocks, which are like some different bone blocks. Instead of being bone meal, it's actual bone. And here you can go down into the catacombs to find things like a villager fossil skull. Look how creepy this is, dude. Then as you explore more here, you find pots, various types of new archaeology items. When you break these vases, treasures may come out, and continuing here the exploration, you might be hit by traps. There are more chests. Usually the chests are protected from traps, just like the jungle structures in Minecraft. There's a lot of treasure in this structure here. More trap, look. My god, that's crazy, man. When you come this way, you get caught by Evoker's trap. And man, this structure is huge. There's no way to explore everything here, but it's really, really cool. But I'm just dropping by here for you to see the structures. This lantern here is basically the totem of radiance. And besides lighting up the mobs when they are close, it also makes the mobs take damage when they are in the area near such a totem. Look, dude, it deals a lot of damage. There's also the growth totem, which helps crops grow faster when you place it on the ground. This totem here is the soul totem. The soul totem works like this. When you click on the mob, you deal damage to it and absorb its life. So you can notice that when I use my totem, I will recover my life. See, the zombie dealt a lot of damage to me. I clicked and stole the zombie's life. And there's the totem of torrents, which allows you to dash with the trident even without rain. In my opinion, this one is the most interesting of all because the dash of the trident is very useful. And it's kind of sad to be able to use it only in the rain, right, man? I came in another mod structure here to clear out some of these sketchy lands. Check this out! I just got a creeper fossil body! And there are various structures like these that you can explore to get different fossils. For example, the head of a chicken, or all these other fossils that are here in the creative inventory, right? But obviously you can find them in survival by digging things in your world or exploring structures. And those fossils have powers, okay? The dog fossil can drive away skeletons. The ocelot fossil keeps creepers away twice the distance of a living ocelot. The sheep fossil makes the sound of a sheep's horn when you squeeze it. The guardian fossil gives you water breathing. The chicken fossil gives you a slow fall effect so you stop taking fall damage. The villager egg is decorative and you can place it holding the item. The creeper fossil has these very cute fire particles. Dude, I thought this archaeology mod was kind of cool, you know? But he doesn't deserve to be up there at the top like that, so I don't think he'll even be here in the... Okay, he'll be here in the vomit. Oh, man. But it's a cool mod, don't get me wrong. It's just because, in my opinion, it's way below these two here. Now let's move on to the year 2022 with the Wizards mod. As the name suggests, it adds magic to Minecraft. I'll start by putting on my wizard outfit. Look how cute I look. Just like every wizard, you need wands. So you can craft a novice wand like this, an arcane wand, the fire wand, the ice wand, the netherite wand, the arcane one, which you make like this on a smithing table. All wands have their netherite version. There are also different levels of wizard clothes, which give you more or less strength in certain powers. Here's the thing. To apply the effects and have spells, you need a spellbinding table surrounded by bookshelves. So you're going to place one of those unique books with a nice texture here, add some Laluzi pencils, and you'll need experience points. So you equip your book with these powers. I'll equip all the books here. Here's the thing, you can right click and then you equip the book here. And look, now that I have my staff, right, because staffs are better than wands, I can come here and shoot the zombie using the staff. They take damage. I can come here too, hold number 2. I'll give them a very weird continuous effect. If I hold the 3, I can also release a very bizarre arcane laser. And each book has a different power. For example, I can swap here my book for a fire book, and my abilities in the corner already change, see? So what about the firepower? Set the mobs on fire, right? There are a lot of cool things in this mod, just like all the others. I can't test everything, but it's a really cool mod that was released in the year 2022. Let's go. The magic mod, man, I would put it here, look, on the thumbs up. Why? Because it's a cool mod with cool features, but it's very complicated to handle. You need a lot of things to do. One thing, you need another, and you need another. And remembering now makes me want to put it here too. I don't care. I'll leave it with better archaeology. And now we go back a bit to the year 2021 to test the Demon Slayer mod. The first thing you see when you enter the world with this mod is a little arrow that looks like something related to energy, right? In the middle of your screen. I noticed that I have a slightly different jump when I'm walking backwards, man. It does kind of a dash. In this mode, you can have 2 classes. My god. What is that, dude? Look how insane, man. There is a bizarre creature that keeps attacking me here. I've never watched Demon Slayer, so... Look! Look! Oh my god. I killed a creature here named Demon, and I got many different things that I can try out here. Let me escape from this witch. Worth mentioning that I put on some resistance. That's why I didn't die to him. He must be very strong, right? I got the Nishirin sword, a full armor that I can equip here. Look, what is that? Dude, I can change the sword attack by right-clicking. Look, if I get to this sheep and right-click, I'll launch a different attack. But beauty, I was saying that in this mod, there are classes. You can become either a hunter or an oni. To become a demon, you need to find this blood mineral here. And if you consume this blood, you become an oni. The more blood you consume, the stronger you become. Your life keeps increasing in its effects, man. Look how crazy. You get some bizarre powers and become practically immortal. Look, I can fight here with these guys just fine. They don't even hurt me. My sword deals much more damage than theirs. But there's a small problem. Ladies and gentlemen, I take your damage in the sun, bro. So I can't go out in the sun being this creature. Or rather being an oni. Because otherwise it would go wrong, right? I'm going to test some of these items for you all to see how much damage it does. This is Muzan's hand, which is the blood we consume. Look, this here is the hand. Oh my god. Demon, blood demon. This here is the Nishirin sword, which also deals a lot of damage. She has expansive powers that reach various places. Look, I stopped here and found this creature, which is a basic oni, let's say. And when you kill him, or kill any oni, right? By the way, I learned that it's oni, not oni. You gain powers and transform into a hunter. That's why I got a bunch of different powers here. The armors, the sword. Hey, you can use your Oni powers to defeat other Onis. In this case, these creatures here, these weird demons. Look here. You're going down, kid. Died. I killed. I didn't get anything from this creature here. Hey man, since I don't know much about anime and I don't have much time, I'm not going to delve deeply into this mod. But you can download and play with it. Look, I'm not really into anime, so maybe that affected my experience with this mod a bit. But it has a lot of cool stuff, except you need to know a lot to play it. So that's why I'm not going to include it here, because in my opinion, it's not close to these mods. I will put the Demon Slayer mod here in the middle. Now let's move on to the year 2020 with the Bacterium model. This mod adds bacteria blocks. In this case, the replacer bacteria and the destroyer bacteria that are capable of destroying the world or replacing an area with another type of block. I'm going to show it working now, but first let me show the crafting recipes. To make the bacteria block, you first need to make the must. Making the must, you need to gather these musts and make compacted must. With the compacted must, you will make the substitute bacteria or the replacer bacteria. There are 4 of those must-haves in a dispenser in the middle. And to make the bacteria that destroys, it is the same thing. But instead of using a dispenser, you use a TNT. Because she will destroy. And there's also a way to craft the jammer. It's just repeating this crafting here. And ready? We have 3 main blocks of this mod. Then you might ask, but Geleia, this mod has been around for a long time, man. Actually, he existed many years ago, before the year 2020. However, it was discontinued, and this version of the mode was recreated for modern versions. That's why I put it here in 2020. And also because there was a pandemic in 2020, right? And a bacteria mod makes total sense with pandemic, right? Let's start by testing the destructive bacteria. To activate your destroyer bacteria, you are going to place the bacteria on the floor. Go place a lever next to it. And the block you want to destroy is on top. Then you just have to activate it, and this block will start consuming your world. Look how bizarre, dude. The bacteria will start eating all the grass in the world. In a very, very cool effect. And if I want to destroy this land now, I just have to do the same thing. Place a destructive bacterium, place a land on top lever. And she is going to start eating the earth too. Hey dude, this one is really, really cool. It even lets you destroy your own mountain range in your world. In case you don't want material. But the most interesting thing will be when we put it here on the stone, dude. Look how bizarre this is. It's gonna start consuming. In addition to consuming sideways, it will also consume downwards. So in a moment, a hole will start to open here. Check it out, dude. What a madness. It's consuming everything. And leaving only the minerals. Meanwhile, our grass-eating bacteria is consuming over here on the sides. The soil bacteria are also consuming. And the stone bacteria is destroying my computer, I would say. So if I want to stop, I just click with this bacteria jammer. And it stops all the bacteria. And you're going to have your world destroyed by bacteria. But remember about the replacer bacteria? This one is also pretty cool. If I came here to set in stone. And place a diamond block, for example, on top of it. And activate. Look what happens. He is going to start consuming the world with the bacteria. And in just a bit, he will start transforming all the surrounding blocks in diamond block. So you created a diamond infection, but I know what you're thinking. Or maybe not. Imagine a war of bacteria. Who do you think wins? Let's go to the super flat world to test. Oh, just look here, bro. Everything is turning into diamonds down here. It's crazy. Wow, dude. And again, if I click with this here, I kill all the bacteria. Here's the deal. I've just created a system. It's going to activate a destructive bacteria over there. And here's a repository bacterium on this side. I'll activate both at the same time. And I want to see which one will win the battle. The destroyer or the restore? Look, dude, how cool. They are already starting to consume the world there. I want to see if this one consumes this one here. Before she can continue, man. Okay, they're kind of competing here in the middle. And stopping from transforming. So from this side here, the world would be consumed by blue. And on this side, the world would be destroyed. I'll wait a while. To see how this looks in a few minutes. Yeah, you can see that things just don't stop, right? It will consume the world until I turn off these bacteria. But anyway, very cool mod. But I've already wasted a lot of time on a little bacteria mod. Let's go to the next one. Dude, this mod is from the pandemic. Look, I think he would stay here. But how are these mods here? He deserves it here. Look, he deserves to stay in the little poop. Because he has far fewer things than all of them. I don't know, he's not a useful mod. He's only cool to see there. That's it, you test it once. Then it will stay in the poop. Is that okay, bro? I'm starting to feel sorry now, dude. The mod isn't crap, dude, but here's what I'm gonna do. I don't care, I'm gonna change it. Doesn't deserve a little poop yet. It's a katana, dude. It's really cool. I'm gonna bring it up here. Yeah, I changed my mind. Let's go to 2019 now to test the Better Nether mod. And to test the Better Nether mod, It's only fair for us to go where? To the Nether, right? Let's go then. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the new Nether in Minecraft. I'm going to activate a little shader here to make the name of this mod make sense. Look at how crazy this mod with shaders is, dude. The Nether is simply magnificent. And here we go before I show you the details. I want to tell you that this mod adds 22 new biomes to the Nether. 10 new structures, 6 new mobs, dozens of new blocks and plants, 7 meals, and a whole page of tools, armor, and weapons. And all kinds of things you can imagine. Without mentioning several incredible decoration items. And I'm gonna start by showing the biome that we are in here, which is the Nether jungle. It's a very creepy biome. If I turn up the game sound, you'll see it has a noise. A kind of weird, eerie vibe, right? Here there is already a structure that is a giant skeleton head. New mobs, dude. This here is a hydrogen jellyfish. There is also this biome here, which is the Crimson Glowing Woods. A biome of these bright crimson forests, right? Wow, look how dark it is in this soul sand biome here. I wanted to keep showing all the biomes, but I can't waste too much time here. So let's go to the second part, which is the structures. I will show you some as well. For example, this structure here that has some plantations. It is a structure called Jardim. There's also Nether City, right? Look at that! What a beautiful thing! Wow, dude, very beautiful. All made of gold, right? Pretty cool too. There are also pyramid structures. This one was born kind of stuck in a fortress. But she also has this totem of rebirth here. And besides what I showed, there are several houses and places with loot. Many important items for you to gather in your gaming session. Besides very strong mobs. And that's what I want to show now, the mobs. I turned off the shaders and I'm going to stay up here. Because it's a bit easier for me to show you the mobs. And the first mobile is this little guy here. It's a firefly. It's easy to defeat, but it doesn't attack you. So there's no point in killing it, right? There is a flying pig that is quite ugly. It is quite fitting for the Nether. There's that hydrogen jellyfish that I showed you. There's also the skeleton from the jungle. That is very fast and deals a lot of damage. There's the wither skeleton. Very weird too that it deals quite a bit of damage. And there is also this head that you can find floating around the Nether, which also attacks you. Wow, I think the better Nether is much better than any of those mobs we tested today, man. For me, today so far, he stays here in the trophy. The game turned out really beautiful. Very beautiful and has structures. But you know, there's also the structures of better archaeology. I will leave it like that. But okay, now it's time for us to go to the year 2018. Testing the Dungeons Mobs Reborn mod. This mod basically adds 21 new mobs that are very difficult to defeat. Each of them has a skill. And I'm going to show all of them in this challenge that was prepared for me. Can I use this equipment here? A lot of things, that is, the mobs are quite complicated. And if I understood correctly, I need to come here, spawn a mob, and kill it. Cool, this here is like an old chicken. The second mob is a shrieker? Oh my god. Oh my god. What craziness, dude. He spawns a bunch of creatures. Wow, that's amazing, dude. Okay, I'm not gonna defeat everyone either. This one is another mob. This one sets things on fire and has some crazy skills like... Okay, he created a portal because this is made of obsidian. He set fire to obsidian and... It happens, right? Next mob is the Vescavore. This one here is like a very bizarre bug. Oh, Mind Flare. Okay. He gives me some effects here. It gives me slowness. I dropped my armor. What's that, scoundrel? My armor is dropping. Get out of here! Wow, he has a very strong life, dude. That's crazy. Next mob is the Hakashaka. It's a bizarre big lion. What's up? Okay. And it multiplies? Wow, he deals a lot of damage. He becomes invisible. What's going on? What? Dude, what is this, man? The creature is really strong, dude. But let's go. Since I died, let's see the next mobs. This here is the outer thing. This here is the Manticore. It's the Mandrake, right? I think that's it. There is an ogre lizard that turned to stone. I think he turns to stone during the day, dude. If I leave him in here, he won't turn to stone, right? Exactly, look. How bizarre. There is also the Beholder. Oh, hello, the rusty monster. There is the Destrichan, which is a very bizarre creature. Looks like a dinosaur with a platypus mouth. Got the hooker. The fallen angel. What about the fisherman of the caves? I don't know. This animal here is so weird. Hey man, it's a really bizarre mod with lots of insane mobs that you might find around your world. If you want an extra challenge, it's worth testing. The mod from 2018 adds several mobs that are very difficult to defeat and have many different powers. In my opinion, he deserves to stay here along with the thumbs up. Together with the better Archaeology mod and together with the Magic mod. And we've already tested mods from 2025 to 2018. Still missing from 2017 to 2011. However, this video is getting too long. That's why I split it into two parts. Part 1, which was this one. And part 2, which is coming out in the next episode of Geleia Labs next Monday. If you're watching this in the future, the episode is probably already out. But that's it. I hope you come back here next Monday to watch the rest of the mods. Thank you very much for watching until now. And until the next video, bye bye.
O Geleia sabe que você é muito legal. Na moral, você assistiu até o final. Uau.